Here are highlights from a Zoom Q&A with Eric Bauza following an advanced screening of The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie at the TIFF Lightbox.
Eric Bauza. Hi, Eric.
I was having a little moment there, getting a little teary-eyed, hearing everyone laughing at some of these jokes that we were working so vigorously on for the last few years, and it really touches my Swiss LA heart. This is a paid sponsorship, by the way. I actually made this sweater just for this occasion.
And it only goes further from there.
Yeah, so we would record one passes Porky, one passes Daffy, and of course, unlike a 7-minute short, where usually it's contained to pretty much one general area, if you've ever seen the original Looney Tunes shorts,
Whether it's Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny in the woods being hunted by Elmer, or Tweety Bird and Sylvester
in Granny's house, Porky and Daffy are usually at, a residence or something like a hotel, or if Daffy's trying to sell something to Porky, they're really in one spot. So there's not a lot of, dynamic acting going on. But then here, this film, we have them at home, we have them in outer space, we have them at work, we have them in all sorts of situations. And you're really depending on the director and Pete Braungart and Alex Kerwan, our creative executive producer on this, to guide you through these scenes to make sure that they are getting out of you what they need from the characters. So yeah, it was, and I think Pete has gone on record to say, like, 9 times out of 10, anytime he spliced the voices together in conversation, that it always worked, which is pretty darn lucky. So yeah. So they can sustain a story without, really counting on one conflict between what drives them to stay together or be together on the screen. They're just like buddies. They're buddies. If anything, if you watch like almost every Looney Tunes animated short with these two specifically, it's always, I always watch them and go, oh, poor Porky, because his life gets ruined by Daffy every time, as it is kind of in this film. They really touch upon that a little bit. Of course, vocally, I can't go further in this conversation without citing and crediting the great Mel Blanc, who was the original voiceover artist behind creating not just these voices, but I call them these personalities. We're now entering the 90th year of Looney Tunes in general.
I think Porky's 90.
I think he might be the oldest Looney Tune.
You just have to do, I say oil of Olay twice a day. That's my secret.
I just would study these voices as a kid. Of course, as a kid too,
I was always aiming at Bugs Bunny.
everyone wants to be Bugs Bunny, but really we're all Daffy deep down inside.
We all want money. We're all greedy.
Maybe me. But, I don't really know when I could do these voices until maybe I'm asked to do them, because when I auditioned for Looney Tunes 15 years ago, the character that I've been with the longest is Marvin the Martian. Isn't that lovely? I'm waiting for them to make a standalone Marvin movie. Ooh, how delightful. But yeah, when I had auditioned for Bugs, I remember Colette Sunderman, the voice director, asking me, oh, can you do Daffy? And I was like, I don't know, I never tried. And then I went back and watched the tapes, and yeah, when Mel Blanc recorded Daffy's voice, he was actually recording the voice first as the same range as Sylvester. So he was still in the deeper range of his voice like this, but he would just change the acting from, ooh, I'm a hungry cat and I'm gonna eat Tweety, to, listen, Rabbit, you're despicable. And they would take that and they would speed it up and pitch it up.
And the way I do Daffy is how we remember it. How it sounds after it's been sped up.
I must have little editors that live in my hair. But yeah, that's kind of how I at least, practice and listen to old recordings of Mel Blanc doing Daffy. And Porky is kind of the same, where he had
Mel Blanc's voice was kind of he had like a bit of a deeper timbre to his voice, like this. I guess it was in fashion to smoke tons of unfiltered cigarettes in the 40s, but I'm about 2 cartons away from perfecting all of his voices. But you know, his range for Porky was like,
I guess it was rather like this. Gee, Daffy, what are we gonna have for breakfast today?
and then they would pitch that up,
And it would kind of sound like this.
so in a weird sense, I know where it comes from, but I kind of adapt it to the what I'm comfortable with doing, and they still kind of affect the voice. In short, I'm a nerd, is what I'm trying to say.